Why, hello. I'm running late, and so I'm wearing a white shirt, which creates a weird effect on the lighting in the room. So I'm looking far more red than I am in real life. There you go. That's the feeling you should get. Hopefully, you're not looking at my face anyway. Hopefully, you're getting your ukulele tuned up, and you're getting ready to play today. I'm going to go post the link over on our website. The website is jollyrogerukulele.com. And today, let's see, link to join, control V, shift, highlight, link, enter, edit, settings, open a new window, update, and update. Today we are playing Daisy Bell, Jarabe Tapatio, Ukulele Lady, Aloha Oe, Las Chiapanecas, Chiapanecas, and Man on the Flying Trapeze. If you are just logging in, know that I just posted Man on the Flying Trapeze like 30 seconds ago, so you may not have had a chance to print it out yet. So you may want to do that real quick. Let's see. Let me make sure the link is working and I put it in the right spot. Thursday, click, and it opens up to the Rawk-Out Extravaganza. And then let me go post this on YouTube, or not YouTube. We are on YouTube. jollyrogerukulele.com. We always post on Twitter because I don't know why, but we do. Let me put the logo on it and tweet. All right, so we're up on Twitter, so I can close that out. And let's see here. Yeah, if you are just walking in, I'm a couple minutes late. We're going to go through the Book One stuff relatively quickly. Most of you guys that are showing up right now are experienced Book One users, and we'll go a little bit more quickly than we went Tuesday. I got to be better at working my time properly. But you do want to load up the Man on the Flying Trapeze. I just now posted it, both for baritone. If you had it previously, the ukulele version, nothing changed on it. But the baritone one is brand new. So if you will get those into your get them off your printer or into your notebook or your iPad or however you're doing it over there, then that'll get you set up. I'm going to get it into my system as well, so let's double check, frankly, that I have the Book One stuff that we need. So Book One, let's just get started on it real quick here. That we'll be doing, I'm going to get this in the window where it's quick to find it. Daisy Bell, and then Aloha Oe. But first, let's say hello to a few people. Linda is in. The sound is good. 63 degrees up in Vancouver. She's telling us the fall has arrived up there. I think it feels a little too early for fall, but she is pretty far north, you guys. Vic is in. Sound is good. Warm and smoky. Warm and smoky in Eugene. Yeah, kind of a disappointing situation with all the smoke around. I do not understand why I can never find a tuner. Nice to have a tuner for every instrument. and yet I'm chasing them around continuously. This one needs a battery pretty bad. Here, we'll put it on guitar because who cares if guitar's in tune, right? Sandy's in. Hey, Sandy, in from northern Michigan. Good to see ya. We're going to play Daisy Bell first. So grab that. And again, tomorrow, Daisy Bell, the ukulele version, tomorrow we'll be playing through as many of the songs of the week as we can possibly squish in each half hour. So Book One, Book Two, Book Three, and it's all good music, right? So Daisy Bell, from the top, we'll play through it. Let's do it all three ways real quick, just so you're thinking correctly. F chord, remember you got a B flat here. Okay, if your B flat sounds like this, it sounds like that. I wouldn't worry about it. One day, it's there, just not right away. 1, 2, 3. Daisy, Daisy, give me your answer due. I'm half crazy, all for the love of you. It won't be a stylish marriage, I can't afford a carriage, but you'll look sweet upon the seat of a bicycle built for two. Right? So that's how everybody plays ukulele. Here's how we play ukulele. Grab the melody line. 1, 2, 3. 2, 3. 2, 3. 2, 3. 2, 3. 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 2, 3. 2, 3. 2, 3. 2, 3. 2, 3. 1, 2. 3. Okay, beautiful. So really nice melody. This was a huge hit in 1892, by the way. So you're playing the hits from the 90s. Next up is the tough uke. Use your pinky on that 3. F shape with your pinky, and it'll work the best. 1, 2, 3. 2, 3. 2, 3. Partial F. And a 0. 2, 3. Just decorative notes. Full C. F chord. G minor, partial. 201. G chord. Open. 003. C7. C chord. Little F chord. Just decorative. F chord. F chord. F with the pinky. Bar on 5, pinky on 8. Isn't that fun? Really pretty little tune. It actually fits on ukulele quite lovely. Ukulele had not been invented yet. Well, it might have been invented. I think it's 1887 is the date typically referred to as the first ukulele. So I think it was probably in existence in 1892, but certainly nobody on the mainland had heard of them yet. And so it's not a ukulele song, but it should be. Play Daisy Bell on the who else made it in today? Peggy. I was going to say Patty. Peggy. I was like, Patty's not right. Peggy made it in. 91 degrees in New Hampshire. Not good. Not good. Pretty new to book 1. Yeah, Peggy, that's great. I mean, seriously, the 3 ways we just played this, with chords, with melody, with tough uke, of the 3 ways in book 1, the most important way is playing by melody, right? And of course, you're starting with Daisy Bell, which has an F chord and a B flat in it, so that's very challenging stuff for a newer person. So patience. Trust yourself. It's going to come all together, and pretty soon you're going to be rocking hard like Rita up in Illinois, who says it's still hot up there, 80 degrees up in Chicago. That's not as hot as it can get up there, but it is definitely toasty, right? All right, grab the baritone version of this. Now with the baritone version, obviously I got a pagination problem here from ukulele versus baritone that I'll have to fix one of these days. But what you're doing when you're on the ukulele is you're just playing the chords, strumming and backing me up. Remember, there's 3 beats in each measure. So we're used to hearing this as Daisy, Daisy, give me your answer due. But that's not what's written on the page. What's written on the page is day 2, 3, Z 2, 3, day 2, 3. Z 2, 3, give me your answer due. So make sure you're giving it plenty of space. And one of the ways when you're a ukulele player and you know you're going to be playing the chords, you got your C chord, F chord, G7, and you got an A minor and a D7. Those are your chords in this piece of music. There's also a G7. So all of those ukulele chords, you just have to know the chords. You're going to strum 3 beats in each measure. If you can't get all 3 beats in each measure, just strum once. You know, Daisy, Daisy, give me your answer due. And that works absolutely. And then those of you guys who've been around a while and been through officially book 1, you know that's a arpeggio waiting to happen. Daisy, Daisy, give me your answer due. I'm half crazy, all for the love of you. Right? So anytime you get a chance to not strum and do something else with your chords, take advantage of that because, frankly, there's way too much strumming and not nearly enough treating this instrument as a real musical instrument. Nothing wrong with strumming. It's perfectly fine, but there's way better stuff to do as well. Let's see. Patricia made it in. Laurel made it in. I know, right? It feels like it might rain out there. Feels like it. It's probably not going to, but it feels like it. From the top, any way you want to play it. 1, 2, 3. 2, 3. 2, 3. We sounded together at your house. Are we killing it? Does it sound really nice at your house? Lovely piece of music there. All right. Also, I don't tell it off. I think I tell it every single time we play this, but 2001: A Space Odyssey, when the spaceman fights his way back into the spaceship and he decides to put the computer to sleep, and he kills the computer. The very last scene before HAL 9000 dies, he sings Daisy Bell, right? And you're like, that's a weird choice for a scene. But what's happening in the show, you got to be a high-level nerd. The very first song ever programmed for a computer to sing was Daisy Bell. And so the computer sang Daisy Bell for the first time in the computer's history. So that's why when the computer is dying, the last thing he does before dying is sing his childhood favorite song, Daisy Bell. So there you go. That's that you would have to dig pretty deep to know that piece of trivia, but that's what's going on, and that's why HAL 9000 sings this song as he's dying. All right. Some of you haven't seen 2001: A Space Odyssey because you have to be pretty old to have seen it. It's not easy to find online anymore either. I think I bought it is what I did. All right, so there's Daisy Bell. Let's go take a peek at Aloha Oe. Much harder song. Aloha Oe is actually a stretch piece for book one. Like, I really don't expect, if you've been through book one, that this is a song you're going to be able to play. This is pretty challenging. Grab the baritone version first. What this does is give you, at the end of book one, you're like, all right, do I know how to play anything? And so this is pretty challenging. Now, we're on the baritone version, and that means you have an A chord. I'm sorry, you have an E chord as your main chord, and on ukulele, that's a bar chord on 4 with your pinky on 7. So that's how you make this E chord, okay? Now, the next thing is your A chord. When you're in a bar arrangement like this, your A chord, you're going to leave your bar here, but you're going to put the F shape, middle finger on 2 of the 5th fret, ring finger on 4 of the 6th fret. Now that's an A chord. What you're really doing is you got your F chord down here, but now you slide it up to bar 4 and you have an A chord. Okay, now that's a lot. If you're new, going from this chord to this chord is super challenging. And then your B7 is here. It's a bar on 2 with your middle finger on the 3rd fret, 3rd string. Okay, so to play this, you're going to be going from this shape to this shape to this shape. So those are very much stretch pieces for when you're brand new. It's not that you're not going to do it. You're going to do all of those shapes over and over and over and over and over in book 2, book 3, and the rest of your life. But when you first encounter them in Aloha Oe, accompanying the baritone, your first thought is, maybe I won't do anything. Maybe I'll just sit out. But now you can use the A shape down here instead of this A shape up here. But it creates a situation where you're playing here, then you got to jump down here, then you got to jump here, and so you're jumping all around, and it's a little bit easier just to go from E to A to B7 back to E, or whatever you have to go to. So those are your 3 chords. This is a song written by a real Hawaiian princess, Hawaiian queen, I should say. I'm going to go ahead and play the tough uke. We're going to play it just one time through on baritone, and then we'll probably play it twice through on ukulele. Okay, so at this point, ukulele players, your job is E chord, A chord, B7 chord. See how it goes. From the top, baritone players, you can play whatever you like. 1, 2, 3. Something. Real Queen of Hawaii wrote that. She apparently was taken with the ukulele, and it appears, it's unclear whether she actually used a guitar or a ukulele to write this, but anyway, she is definitely credited with the song, and so it's I like to pretend for sure that of course she wrote it on ukulele. 1878, by the way. Ukulele was brand new that year, so probably unlikely that she did, but we still say she did. Yeah, right? So there's the baritone version of that. Now, in terms of chords, that's pretty hard for a newer player. you'll get it. You will be doing those chords for sure. So let's make it a little easier. Let's put this thing over onto ukulele. Grab your ukulele version of this, and then we will have a little bit easier go of it. Now on ukulele, if you're playing the chords, A chord's right here, right? D chord's right here, and E7's right here. Okay, that makes us happy. Baritones, you're not in near as bad a shape. Your A chord looks like our D chord. Okay, the D chord looks like our G chord right there, and your E7 is duck soup, right? It's just that index finger on the first fret, third string. So for baritones, this is a great opportunity for you guys to play. The baritone doesn't have too hard of a job. Ukulele gets the melody and the good part of the music, and then of course somebody's got to sing. Right? I don't sing this song because it's in Hawaiian, but it's really one of these pieces where you can really knock it out pretty nice. And slower the better with this one. And a lot of times with Hawaiian music we play it way too fast, and people from Hawaii are not in that kind of hurry. So to let the tones really develop. Take your time with it. Ukulele players, if you want to play chords and just strum along, that's awesome. If you want to be up your game, play the ukulele melody line. I say this all the time. That's the most important line. Nobody ever plays it because you're all busy just staring down the tough uke line. But definitely, especially when you're newer, you want the melody line to just be like part of who you are. Like you can play all the melodies, no major stumbling blocks on that. It just sort of just drops out of your ukulele every time, and at the speed, whatever speed I happen to be playing at, you're going to be fine. So play the melodies a lot as well from the top. Last on baritone I was thumb downing. This time I think I'll just go with a claw and see how it sounds. 1, 2, 3. And the chord that I put on there, the higher chord, sounds kind of cool too. Isn't that nice? It's nice. Way to go, Queen Liliuokalani. I know I'm not saying that right. Let's do it one more time. Maybe if you were doing it with the claw last time, do it with your thumb this time. If you're playing melody, play your melody again. Okay? Playing chords, be on baritone. 1, 2, 3. nice, right? Nope, that's not right. Sometimes I go through to fix something and I make it worse. 5. Okay, beautiful. Nice little tune. All right, so that's book 1. Guys, if you are in book 1, if you're new to this way of playing, know that this is the end of the line for book 1, right? This is really, really hard playing. This is actually pretty hard for book 2 playing, to be honest. The only reason it ends up sort of in between those two is by the time you get to book 1, sometimes I have a few students that are just killing it and they want something that's a little bit of a challenge that feels very book 2-y. You know, it's really just a 3-chord song, but it's got a lot of stuff going on. So just know if you're struggling with that, if you're book 1, you should be struggling with that one. That's a hard song. The other thing to pay attention to a little bit is next week we will be tossing out some of the arpeggios for the book 1 stuff, and those are also equally difficult. The book 1 itself, where we start from the scratch with Frere Jacques, we will be getting that stuff started after Labor Day. And so those of you guys that are new and you're looking for, hey, I want to play in this particular style, I want to play chords and melody at the same time, I want to really up my instrumental game, this is the place to do that. And we will start with book 1 after Labor Day, going through step by step. And honestly, once you go through that book, all 30 lessons, I think there's lesson 28. When you get to lesson 28, you're like, yeah, I'm ready to give it a try. I know I got the big picture. So don't judge yourself if you're struggling with this just a little bit, because you should be struggling with this a little bit if you're new to this style of play. All right, let's see. I have not been paying attention to the ins and outs. Let's see. Rita says repeats, top left need review. Oh, do they? Oh, let's see. Was it on 0 through 9? Oh yeah, Aloha Oe has no repeats. Thank you, Rita. See, this is why I need you guys around, is to do my copy reading for me. Yes, yeah. Thank you, Rita. Ignore the repeat block. I have that in there as a standard thing, and the last thing I'm supposed to do before publishing music is double check that the heading is correct, and that's always the last thing. Double check that I actually have the name spelled correctly, that I have the composer in there, that I have the date up to date on there, and then I fix the repeat block, because the repeat block changes. If you change the song, that block doesn't change, and so I have to do that one by hand, and it is on my list of things to double check. So thank you, Rita. I appreciate that. You're absolutely right. And Vic's into, what's interesting, we play so much music around here that sometimes you're like, well, what's the next song? But you want to try to make up a reason for playing something, right? This one, a real Queen of Hawaii wrote it. Okay, there's a little bit of a reason to do that. Might have been on a ukulele, probably not, but it might have been, right? Daisy Bell, knowing the story about this, the first song that a computer ever sang is kind of cool. So, and that's why it's in 2001: Space Odyssey. All right, let's jump over into book 2 now, and we'll probably have a few people wandering in roughly this time to sit down and rock out with us. If you've made it in today, I'm glad you're here, and please announce yourself as you walk in. Anytime you are walking in, you tell me where you're from and what the temperature is there. Pretty quickly, I can remember your name, your place of domicile, and how the weather is going there. I do know Rita lives near Chicago, and I do know that most of the time her weather is terrible. All right, let's go grab out of book 2, Jarabe Tapatio. In book 2, guys, you guys are going back through some of that music on Espanol, as I like to say. We grabbed a lot of tunes from Spain, from South America, from Mexico, and put them on ukulele. And really, it turns out they're awesome, and they really got beautiful melodies, and they're super fun to play. And so I like doing this kind of work. I apparently did not download them into my book. I have had so many pieces of technology through this little pandemic adventure, and I never am positive what's where anymore. these up, and then after that we'll do Las Chiapanecas, which I'm 100% positive I'm mispronouncing, and so we'll be doing all of those. So grab Jarabe Tapatio for ukulele first, please. Sure. Clunk, clunk, share, clunk, clunk, and finally Jarabe Tapatio for ukulele, share. Okay, and then all I have to do is clean up my set list, book 2, and we'll be ready to go. E, F, G, H, I, Jarabe Tapatio, Baritone Ukulele, and Las Chiapanecas. Las. That's how they're spelled? L-A-S. And there they are. In life, I am doomed because I honestly can't alphabetize worth sour apples on the fly when I'm under pressure. All right, Jarabe Tapatio. Let's play down through measure 8, come back up to the top, and then play to the bottom. Now you're going to skip measure 8 the second time through. So the repeats are not particularly challenging here. Take a peek at the chords. If you're on baritone, G chord, that's one of yours, right? A minor, not too difficult. D7, absolutely part of the baritone world. And guess what, guys? That's it. So it's very exciting from a chord perspective, not too difficult. And from ukulele perspective, geez, these are definitely our chords, right? These are all really, really easy to get your head around. So baritone players, if you'll grab the chords, ukulele players, if you will grab either the chords, the melody, or the tough uke, and let's go through this at 120 beats per minute. That's not fast. It's walking pace. It's a regular pace, I guess. Hard part here, starting off with right. So now when you hear a mariachi band do this, they're going to do this pretty fast, right? But when we're doing it as a solo piece and nobody else backing us up, we don't have the guitarron and the violin and the trumpet and the requinto, the little guitar. We're going to need to slow it down just a little bit. From the top, it's in 6/8, guys. Normally when you see 6/8, you think beat in 2. 1, 2. And how you think about it as you're playing is 1, 2, 3, 2, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 2, 2, 3. It's almost like triplets. It's not almost, it's exactly like triplets. Okay. 1, 2. Going to the top. 10. Okay, that's a super fun song. I want to play it one more time. That was with my thumb. Sounds great. Okay, a lot of times a song like this feels a little bit more staccato-ish. Dun, 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 dun. And then you would want to switch over to your claw to get a little bit more staccato feel to that sound. So let's give it a try that way and see what happens. See if you want to switch to your claw. Also, if you're new, you're playing melody, right? 5, 4, 5, 2, 1, 2, 3, 2, 3, 2. That's a very, very important way to play because that's what you'll be doing in orchestra. Only you'll be doing it at a crazy fast speed, right? We crank up the speed to number 11, and so getting where you're just like, yep, I can do that in my sleep. That's what we want from you. 1, 2. I blew it from the top. 1, 2. To the top. Yep. Measure 10. Okay, so that's a super fun song. I love that song. When I wrote this out, I originally knew more about the song than I remember. But anyway, you can Google it. It's a famous song. All right, let's see. Let's grab the baritone version of it. Give that a shot. Plunk, plunk, plunk. How come it's not moving? Plunk, plunk, plunk. It's not moving. Why are you not moving, you stupid thing? Jarabe Tapatio, baritone. All right, let's try that. Jarabe Tapatio, baritone. Let's see. Peggy says, I plan to be back after Labor Day as I need the earlier lessons. Yeah, feel pretty comfortable with melody, just upping my game to learn how to read the play and play the tablature. Yeah. Sorry, Patty. It was Jarabe Tapatio. Jarabe Tapatio, baritone. One of the things that happens, I think, and you guys can contradict me if I'm wrong, but when you first start and you see on a tablature 0, 2, 3, 2, you have to think that through, right? 0, 2, 3, 2. Oh, that's my G chord. But after a pretty short amount of time, really by the time you're done with book 1, you've seen the same patterns show up time and time and time and time again where you can read them pretty quickly. Obviously, this is why I like to post the music on the website early so you guys have a chance to sit down, read through it in advance before we play it here live online. But I think what happens is and it's partly survival on my part and partly instructive on my part. We play a whole lot of songs on purpose. We don't necessarily ever get great at any one of them because we're working on that business of reading, just where these numbers go on. You see 0, 2, 3, 5 for most of us now. That's not a thing, right? We know what that is. But when you're new, it is a thing. You're like, what in the heck? The downside to writing everything down is that you get where you're very dependent on everything being written down. And I do definitely want, as you're going along, if you find a song that's like, yeah, that speaks to my soul, that you sit down and you really memorize it and you get rid of the paper, right? You sit down, go through it piece by piece, play it 10,000 times, this sort of thing, and where you own it. That way, if I ever run into you in the streets of New Hampshire, you say, hey, Gary, let me play you something. I've been working on it for the last 3 years, and you have something memorized. That's something every ukulele probably needs to be able to do. Let's see. Laurel says, I love it when you include the uke chords at the upper left corner of the baritone versions. Just saying. I know, Laurel. The reason I stopped doing that is some songs have too many chords, and it looks like I threw up on the upper left-hand side of the thing. It's just so much work to squish them all in there, and you have to create 2 separate sets of chords, the regular D chord for the ukulele, and then the other set of D chords for the baritone. And I agree. I love it too, but I'm probably going to do less of that more than more. I want you guys to grab your chord charts and sit down and figure them out, and on the ones you don't know. What that does, when you have to go look up chords, what it does is make you memorize those chords, right? Because you're like, I'm not looking that up anymore. I'm just going to remember this. So, yes, Laurel, I agree. And no, you're not getting any more of it. All right. All right. Ukulele players, D chord, right? Three twos. Your E minor is down here in that crazy shape. That was my toughest chord with getting started. A7 is right here. That's your A7. And is that it? Is that the 3 chords you have? E minor, D, and A7. All right, another 2-chord song. 3-chord song. All right, baritone players, you're either playing melody or you're playing tough uke. 1, 2. Mexican Hat Dance, is that the song for that? I think that might be the Mexican Hat Dance song. I can never quite remember. We live out here in Colorado. You hear a lot of Spanish music, and sometimes I get them confused of which one's which. Laurel, just trying to save a tree. Oh, that's such a complicated idea anymore, isn't it? All right. Yeah, let's save trees when we can. Also, let's just memorize all of the chords, and then you don't have to ever write anything down. I'm going to beat you, Laurel. All right. Las Chiapanecas. Chiapanecas. Las Chiapanecas. Go grab that one. A baritone version first, please. Dun 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 dun. This might be the Mexican hand dance. Dun 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 dun. Clap clap. Dun 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 dun. Clap clap. Dun dun. Right. So I think. I think this is the Mexican hat dance. I don't even know if that's a real name of it. It's probably something that United States people put on the name of the song. All right, Las Chiapanecas, baritone version. Ukulele players, look at your chords. C, G7, C, G7, C, G7, C, G7, C, G7, F, 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 C, G7, C, G7, C, G7. So this is a ukulele dreamland, right? And you're in 3. So C chord, 2, 3, C chord, 2, 3, C chord, or G7 chord, 2, 3, right? So this is going to be you. Just make sure you're using the right shape for your instrument, not the shape that's on the paper. Baritone players, you got chords, you got melody, and you got tough uke. Do the tough uke. This one's a pretty doable piece. This is really, until you get to the second part, this piece could easily fit into at least the intro and the outro could easily be a level 1 piece. The bar chord at 18, that's that bar on 5 with the F shape in front. For baritones, it's a C shape. That's a little bit more challenging. Plus, you also have to get the 8 in with your pinky. Okay, so that's a little bit challenging. That's why it's a level 2 song. Let's give it a try. 1, 2, 3. Back to 18. deliriously lovely piece of music. Again, we're playing it slow. Probably designed to be played quite a bit faster than that. But it doesn't matter, does it? Alright, let's give this a try. Ukulele style. Now, baritones, you get gypped on this one, right? You got your F chord, which is one of your harder chords. You have C7, which isn't exactly easy. And then you have B flat, which is this one right there on baritone. And that's your 3 chords. So, but these are much harder chords than the ukulele players have the other way. So when you're sitting down and you're thinking, all right, I got a friend who's a baritone player, how are we going to work this out? Most of the time the baritone's going to be on chords because it's that lower voicing he creates. Then he or she is going to create the neighborhood of your song, and the ukulele player is going to be on the higher version. But if you get to something like this where you're like, you know what, the ukulele chords are really easy, and we'll let the baritone play the melody once in a while. They like that when you treat them as equals, and, you know, when you can. Let's see. Carol, lost track of time. Better late than never. Come on, Carol, set an alarm. Diane, I'm here. Hard getting used to the new times. Yeah, I know. I keep moving stuff around. Well, think about it. For a year and a half, we were pretty much in one time slot the whole time, right? And then toward the end there, I had to move it to later in the evening. But forever, we were at 10 a.m. And so, yeah, I know. The new time slots are hard to get used to. And I know for some of you, the middle of the afternoon, some of you, this is dinner time, some of you, this is breakfast. You know, no matter where you are, it's complicated. But I'm just glad you're here. I'm glad everybody made it. All right, from the top, Las Chiapanecas on ukulele. I'll play all the way down and then come back to 18. 1, 2, 3. Sorry, I blew it. Page 1, sorry, measure 18, go. Second ending. Nice, right? How about that? That's a great song. Okay, guys. So if you're book 2, you're set. Obviously, stick around for book 3. Seriously, what are we playing? Book 3. Man on the Flying Trapeze, greatest song ever. And Ukulele Lady. Yeah, you got to know how to play that a little bit, right? So that's the end of book 2. Tomorrow is Friday, and so we will play by request. With each half hour, we'll play through everything you want, anything you want. And it's just 4 songs per half hour. So we may, depending if there's no baritone player showing up, we may just dispense with the baritones, right? But if you're a baritone player, absolutely, let's speak up, right? And let me know which songs you want to play. So that's for tomorrow. Simple Gifts, Carnival of Venice, Daisy Bell, Aloha Oe, Cielito Lindo, Estudio by Tarrega, Jarabe Tapatio, and Las Chiapanecas. Chiapanecas. All right, and so that's it. All right, so it's 2 o'clock. Let's go into book 3. The first one is Hard Going. Go grab the Ukulele Lady. Grab the ukulele version. Let's see what we can do to make this into something worthwhile. I am 99% sure. I got to update my book here for a second, so give me just a jiffy to get that done. All right, Ukulele Lady. I always wanted this song to be super easy, and when I first started doing arranging, I did this and I could never get it, and I did this, I could never get it, and I finally got good at arranging, and now I am pretty proud of this arrangement. But this is not an easy song. I see why early on why I struggled with this, because I wanted it to be an easier song than it is, and so I kept not doing certain things in the arrangements, trying to avoid the hard stuff, and that doesn't really work. So sometimes it works. All right, there's this Man on the Flying Trapeze. By the way, is hilarious. And we'll talk about it and in the time period that it was produced in. There's this. All right. Oh, goodness. I said I had a baritone one, and I don't remember ever having a baritone one. Okay, so when I go here, set list, ukulele book 3, Ukulele Lady, let's add, should be an easier way to get to the bottom. Team Ukulele Lady, baritone ukulele, and then, alright, Man on the Flying Trapeze, there we go. Alright, I'm going to do Ukulele Lady first on ukulele. Alright. First thing you do when you see something like this, you see those 16th notes right off the bat, and you're like, oh no. And then you see some ties in the middle of measure 2. We're going to tie a note together, and that's different than in measure 3 where we have a slur, which goes from a G sharp to an A. So you go from a 4 to a 5. Right? Honolulu, and it's Honolulu. That's what you're going to be doing. Okay, so that's a slur. I don't put a ton of slurs in because they are a pretty advanced technique, and since it's online and I can't see what you're doing, I usually don't put very many slurs into things. But some songs, particularly Polynesian-oriented songs, sometimes you can find a couple of places to put those in and that aren't too hard, and it sounds really nice. Let's be aware of how long this song is also. And also, because you can play all the way down to 48, and then you're going to come all the way back to, 17, and then play it back down through the bottom. So it's a pretty long song. The right dead square in the middle of Tin Pan Alley. Con and Whiting were not Hawaiian, nor were they ladies. So last 2 guys in the world that you would ask to write a Hawaiian song these days, but back then everybody was in love with Hawaii, and they were perfectly fine with Con and Whiting knocking out a ukulele. Hawaii was a big topic in Tin Pan Alley music. A lot of people were discovering it as a state and were you know, the airplanes were finally starting to get where they could go over there, and most people still rode a boat over there, but you know, it became a little more accessible, and then of course when ukuleles came over to the World Fair, I'm going to say 1915, I think, in Chicago, I think, ukulele got a lot of exposure at that, and that's sort of when the first ukulele craze happened, was right during the Tin Pan Alley, and all of the college kids had ukuleles back then, and, you know, that's why a lot of that old Tin Pan Alley sheet music has uke chord stamped in there, and is usually Mary Singh Breen, I think I'm pronouncing her name wrong, wrote most of those chords for those, and a lot of times she was real comfy with changing the tuning on ukuleles to make it more playable. So you'll see a lot of chords on those Tin Pan Alley sheet musics that you're like, how do you want me to tune the ukulele? And so it's fine. Most of the time she was either in D or G tuning, but D or C tuning. But sometimes she'd do crazy tuning. All right, let's see. With the 16th notes, ba-bum, ba-dum, 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 bum, ba-dum, ba-dum, bum, bum, bum. Okay, so that's what you're trying to get to. Easy to talk about, really hard to do. So let's just give the beginning a try and see how it goes. If you're baritone, grab the chords. If you're ukulele, grab whatever makes you happy. 1, 2, 3, 4. H2. So that's all intro. That's the intro, right? And these days with Tin Pan Alley, we usually just chop off the verses, chop off the intros, and go straight to the chorus. I gave you the full version here because I feel like the song deserves it. I don't think the front part of that is unimportant. It's kind of cute. I saw the splendor of the moonlight in Honolulu Bay. There's something tender in the moonlight in Honolulu Bay. And all the beaches are full of peaches who bring their ukes along. Right? That's super 1925 right there. And in the glimmer of the moonlight, they love to sing this song. And so that's your intro. Again, most Tin Pan Alley songs these days, we chop it off, get rid of that part, and then we just do the chorus, okay? Which is, let's get going. F chord, pinky on 3, 1. I'll just do the pickup to 17. 1, 2, 3. Right? That's beautiful. That's beautiful. Not really a Hawaiian song, but it should be. All right. Plus, if you play it slow like that, right? Usually, when you hear it, it's usually singers doing it, and they're usually doing it fast. If you like an ukulele lady like you, right? That's how they usually do it. But if we take and turn it into a little bit slower song, it actually sounds very romantic. Alright, let's go grab the baritone version of this. See how that goes. Done. Alright, baritone version. Same exact thing. Ukulele chords. C, C, and then you have a G sharp 7. And you're like, well, I don't know what a G sharp 7 is. You know what you do? You skip it. Okay? And then you do know what a G7 is. C, 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 another G sharp 7. Just throw it away. Who cares? Just let those chords you don't know. Just let them float on by like a moment in time. And, you know, I don't lose too much sleep over it because you got a lot more chords in here to keep track of. The rest of the song, no problem. Everything else in here is standard issue ukulele chords. Certainly at level 3, I would suspect you to mostly be able to sight read the chords on here from a ukulele perspective. And a G sharp 7, no, not so much. Here's... Always think about this. If this is G7, dun, 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 G sharp 7 is just going to be everybody move up 1. The problem is you have this open string that's not covered up, so just don't play that. Okay? So if you're playing on baritone, it's a D7. Let's play this up. Okay? If you hit the open string, it'll sound terrible. So a D7 will sound like this. Sounds normal. And then if I slide it up, watch what happens. It's like, what? This seems really weird. But if you just use the bottom 3 strings, it'll work just fine. So anytime you see something like that and you're like, well, I know what a G sharp is, but I don't know what a G sharp, I know what a G7 is, but a G sharp, it's just got to be the same chord, just moved up 1 fret. Now it's a sharp. That's the secret to cheating. Linda loves it. Nice. All right, here we go. Baritone players, melody or chords. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to start again. I'm like, what am I doing? 1, 2, 3, 4. Page 2. that pretty? That's a good song. That's a lot of a song, right? It's like, geez Louise, I'm tired. Andre has made it in from Germany. Good to see Andre. Just got home from work and can now take a deep breath. It's a little bit of ukulele time. You were working late, Andre. Glad to have you, man. You should get a job where you can work in the mornings. I worked nights for years. 8.5 years I worked nights. And I loved it. I thought, you know what? Everybody else is doing their evening thing. I'm going to go into work, get my work done, and get out at 10:30. Go home, go over to the gym. I used to go to the gym. Went to the gym till I whacked my knee out, and then I'm like, well, that's it. I'm done. I said, Cat made it in. Glad you're here, Cat. Goodness, everybody's sneaking in late today. Cat, so good to see you. All right, so the one song that we're going to do that nobody wants to do, but I insist we do it because I love it, is Man on the Flying Trapeze. Now, here's why we need to do it. Grab the baritone version first. Man on the Flying Trapeze. Look at the date on this thing, 1867. Do you know what's going on in 1867? The circus comes to town, and somebody's on a trapeze, and it is a miracle of modern entertainment. Like, unbelievable that there's a guy on a trapeze flying through the air. And not only that guy is so daring and young and handsome that he steals your girlfriend. That's how exciting things are in 1867. And unlike today where there would be an additional verse where you go and punch him in the nose and he punches you back, he just floats through the air. He's amazing. He's graceful and beautiful. And then he comes in one day and steals her. He steals his girlfriend. And then a year later they come back through town. Well, she's now flying through the air with the greatest of ease. So that's what happens to his girlfriend. Is that great songwriting or what? Okay, so dun 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 dun. Okay, and it's in the key of G on baritone, C on ukulele. Ukulele players, your chords are G, C, A minor, D7. You got a diminished chord in there. You have to fish around and find that one. And other than that, everything is just duck soup. It's going to be great. I want you to get in your 1867 head. There's no radio. There's no electricity. There's no television. There's no iPhone. There's no Instagram. There's no nothing. There's just you and sadness. And then all of a sudden, here's the man on a flying trapeze, and you're just like, oh my gosh, this is the greatest day of my life. Okay, that's the mindset. From the top, I'm going to play the top uke. Baritone players, do what you want. Ukulele players on chords. 3 beats per measure. 1, 2. Songwriting. To the top. I'm telling you, man. If you're in Germany right now and you just got off work and you come home and you're like, I think I'm gonna play Man on the Flying Trapeze. Your friends are going to have you committed to an institution, Andre. That is a great piece of music. I don't care what you say. All right. Nice melody, not too hard to play. A little bit hard to play. A little bit all over the neck, a little bit. All right. This is it. This is your swan song for today. 4 minutes to get this thing out. To-beat count-in. Ukulele players, you're on C chords, C7s, F chords, D minors, G7s. There's that dark D minor. That's going to happen. That's a chord we're going to do. Yeah, so there's this. Baritone players, this looks pretty straight. Well, you got your F chord in there, right? So that's always a bummer. But other than that, not too bad. From the top. Are you the daring young man, or are you the narrator? That's the question you have to ask yourself. 1, 2. Flying through the air. It is a really fun song to play, Vic points out. So, hey guys, tomorrow we'll play through and whatever you guys want to. So tonight, take a look through the songs. Which songs are going well? Let's play some of those. Which songs are you struggling with a little bit? Let's play through some of those tomorrow. Come in tomorrow with your idea of what you'd like to play. I basically want to keep it in the half-hour segments, though. So the first half hour, I'd like to do book 1. Next half hour, book 2. Last half hour, book 3. So let's kind of keep it orderly like that. So for those of you guys that have been around a while, come for book 2 and 3. Those of you who are newer, come dig into book 1 and book 2 with me. And I mean, literally, this is some of my very, very favorite music in many ways. I love the book 1 stuff. Every single song in book 1 I adore. I think it's very instructional and very helpful, and they're good songs. And then book 2, we're working on those Spanish melodies, which I think are brilliant. And I think that anytime you guys can squish in some Tin Pan Alley, you're going to be just fine. So hopefully you're having a wonderful day wherever you are. It's pretty toasty here out in the west, and so I'm needing it to cool down a little bit. We look like we're going to get rain. All it does is make it humid. So, but I know better than to grumble, because I know some of you guys are dealing with real heat and real crazy weather out there. Thank you for being here. I'll see y'all tomorrow at the same time slot, 1 o'clock. I know for some, changing is always hard, and getting it into that spot is hard. For me, as you guys know, I started school on it seems like 6 months ago, but 4 days ago, and I have to squeeze this stuff in around the school schedule, but I don't anticipate any problems with us riding this out through December at this rate, and then we'll see what happens then. we're going to keep adding to our playlist. So I'm going to keep finding us new tunes, especially for book 3. So those of you guys who've been around a while, just know you're going to continue to get fed, right? Book 1 and 2 are pretty much set. I really like the stuff that we have in there, and there might be a few like minor adjustments to that, but book 1 and book 2 are really a great way for you to get up and running and treating your ukulele as a musical instrument and not just a fun thing to do, right? To turn you into musicians, to give you a chance to play at a high level and to play with other people and to maybe teach a little bit and to share the joy of ukulele. It is a great instrument. I've been surprised over at the university where I kind of, I'm coming in, dragging in with dirt all over my shoes and thinking, hanging out with these, the cultural elite. And I'm thinking they're going to just laugh in my face when they hear I play ukulele. And a lot of them in the music department are interested in what we're doing and how we're doing it. And so that's been gratifying to see. It's always good when I'm wrong. That's the one thing I have figured out. So we have a lot of good things coming. Hang in there, you guys. Figure out how to make that happen. And I will see y'all tomorrow. Thanks for being here. And I was going to mention, LG, are you still here? Linda? Linda mentioned last night in guitar class, she says, boy, I really feel like I'm playing better. And I says, don't you wish you had those recordings from 6 months ago of how you played back then? And she says, I do have those. You should do that too, guys. Take 5 minutes. Put your cell phone in front of you. Click record. It doesn't matter whether it comes out great or not. Just pick a song, play through the song, save the song into your computer somewhere so that you don't look at the video. It's going to be not at all what you want it to be. But every week or so, make a video of yourself playing and just stick it in a folder, and then don't look at it for about 6 months. And 6 months from now, you go back and look at the video you did today, and you're going to be like, man, I was not good back then, but I'm way better now. And that's the beauty of this particular style of play, is that you're going to get really good really fast, and you're going to get where you become a sight reading maniac. Like, there's so much stuff that you can just create beautiful music just by looking at the paper. And yeah, there's LG. She says, yeah, I went back and looked and it sounded so horrible. right. That's why we do it, because you're like, I wouldn't play like that anymore. 6 months makes a big difference if you keep showing up. If you don't show up, right, you kind of get stuck. But if you keep showing up, you won't believe how much better of a player you are 6 months from now than you are now. And that's the goal. It doesn't matter how you played today. It matters how you played 6 months ago. So there we go. All right, let's see. People are sneaking out. Kat, good to see you. Linda, good to see you. Fran, see you tomorrow. Kick your fanny. Yeah, right? Nice. 100 degrees in Southern California. Boo. Thanks, everyone. Always fun to play uke with our ensemble, right? How to play uke with ensemble next. Yeah, right? Andre, good to see you, man. Kat, thank you for being here. Always delightful to see you. And friend, I sounded really bad last summer. Now I play a couple of levels above really bad. Just so you know, over at school where I have to play with all these 18-year-old guitarists, I sound pretty bad too. I don't care, right? Because by the end of the semester, I'm going to sound better. And I care a little bit. I care a lot. I care so much you can't even believe it. But yeah, you sound a little, you get better. That's the goal. It doesn't matter where you are now. It matters where you're going to get to. So, all right, guys. Peace.